Why is this happening to me? A question that haunts us during quiet nights. Heartbreaks, rejections, losses. You wanted something badly, a job, a relationship, peace, and just when you thought you had it, life flipped the script, and you're left wondering, what did I do wrong? But here's what Buddhist wisdom gently reminds us. Everything that happens in your life has a reason, a deeper purpose, a hidden gift. And once you begin to understand this, peace stops being a thing you chase. It becomes a part of your soul. There are no accidents. In Buddhism, there's a powerful concept, pratityasamutpada, dependent origination. It means everything arises in dependence upon multiple conditions. Nothing exists in isolation, and nothing happens by accident. The person who left you, the job you didn't get, the pain you felt, even the joy you lost, all are threads in a bigger pattern of your life. Like a spider's web, even the smallest movement at one end affects the whole. But we don't always see the full web. We only feel the pull and pain on one side and think, why is this happening? Buddha didn't say pain won't come. He said pain is part of the package of life. But suffering, that's optional. And when you understand that every experience is preparing you for your growth, for your awakening, you begin to let go. You stop resisting life and start flowing with it. And that, my friend, is where peace lives. Realization 1. You are not being punished, you are being redirected. Have you ever felt like the universe slammed a door in your face? Like everything you wanted was taken away? Pause, take a breath, let's flip that thought. What if the universe wasn't punishing you, but redirecting you? What if rejection was protection? What if delays were divine detours? Buddhism teaches us to detach from the illusion of control. You can plant the seed, water it, love it, but you can't force the fruit to grow overnight. You can't scream at the sky and demand peace. Instead, you trust that the seed knows what it's doing. Your life knows what it's doing too. And sometimes, things fall apart not to destroy you, but to clear a path for something greater. The story of the farmer, a Zen parable. There's a famous Buddhist parable that explains this perfectly. Once upon a time, an old farmer's horse ran away. His neighbors said, "Such bad luck." The farmer simply said, "Maybe." The next day, the horse returned, bringing with it 3 wild horses. His neighbors said, "Wow, what good luck." The farmer said, "Maybe." Then the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses, fell off, and broke his leg. The neighbors again said, "Such terrible luck." The farmer said, "Maybe." Then the army came to the village to draft young men to war. They saw the farmer's son with a broken leg and left him behind. The neighbors said, "Such good fortune." And the farmer said, "Maybe." This story reveals a deep Buddhist truth. You don't know how the story ends. What you think is good may become bad, and what you think is bad may save you. So stop labeling things as success or failure too quickly, because often life is unfolding in your favor, but you just don't see it yet. Realization 2. Karma isn't about reward or punishment, it's about cause and effect. Another Buddhist gem, karma. People often say, "He's suffering because of bad karma." But this is a misunderstanding. Karma isn't punishment. Karma is a mirror. Every action you take, every intention you set, every thought you carry plants a seed. That seed grows slowly, quietly, and when the conditions are right, it blossoms into results. If you've been through pain, heartbreak, poverty, sickness, it doesn't mean you're cursed. It means your soul is on a journey. It means you're learning deep lessons you couldn't learn through comfort alone. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, "No mud, no lotus. The lotus flower, so beautiful, only blooms in the deepest mud." And often, your most painful moments are the mud your soul needs for the lotus of wisdom to bloom. Realization 3. Suffering begins when we resist reality. Here's a painful truth wrapped in compassion. You suffer not because of what's happening, but because you resist what's happening. Let that sink in. When something unexpected happens, our mind screams, "This shouldn't be happening." But the Buddha said, the root of all suffering is attachment. Attachment to how things should be. Attachment to what we wanted. Attachment to control. But what if you softened your grip? What if, instead of fighting reality, you accepted it and flowed with it? Then peace doesn't depend on everything going your way. It comes from within, from understanding that life has its seasons, and even the winters are needed. The psychology behind peace. Modern neuroscience supports this too. When we resist pain, we amplify it. The brain goes into stress mode. But when we accept and observe pain without judgment, like Buddhist meditation teaches, our brain's response changes. Our prefrontal cortex activates. Cortisol drops, clarity increases. You begin to respond with wisdom instead of reacting with panic. So what Buddhism taught 2,500 years ago, science is only now catching up to. Realization 4, trust the timing of the universe. Sometimes what you want isn't denied, it's delayed. Because you're not ready, or the world isn't ready for you. Buddha taught patience. Not the kind where you wait anxiously, but the kind where you trust deeply. It's like clouds covering the sun. You don't panic, you know the sun is still there. Your peace, your joy, your success, it's all there behind temporary clouds. So don't rush the process. Don't dig up your seed to check if it's growing. Trust the timing of your life. Realization 5, you are not alone in your pain. One of the most beautiful Buddhist concepts is dukkha, the understanding that suffering is universal. You're not being targeted. You're being human. Everyone you meet, rich or poor, loved or lonely, carries invisible scars. Everyone is fighting silent battles. This awareness doesn't make your pain smaller, but it makes your heart bigger. It brings compassion, and in compassion you find peace. Because when you see that pain is part of the shared human experience, you stop blaming yourself. You start healing. What can you do right now? Here's how to bring this wisdom into daily life. 1. Breathe and pause. When life feels heavy, stop. Close your eyes, inhale deeply. Whisper to yourself, this too has a reason. 2. Stop labeling events. Don't rush to call something bad. It might just be your soul's training ground. 3. Practice loving kindness. Meditate with these words. May I be happy, may I be peaceful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Watch how it shifts your energy. 4. Journal the pattern. Write down what hurt you in the past, what it taught you, how it made you wiser. You'll begin to see the beautiful design life has been weaving all along. Final words before the journey begins. You didn't land on this video by accident. You were guided here because your soul is ready to stop suffering and start healing. You are being reminded that everything that has happened to you is not wasted. Every heartbreak built your compassion. Every failure built your strength. Every delay taught you patience. Buddhism doesn't promise an easy life. It offers something more powerful. A meaningful life, a peaceful life. A life lived in harmony with reality. So whenever you feel lost, abandoned, or broken, remember, everything happens for a reason, and one day it will all make sense. Until then, trust the path, flow with the river, and keep walking with peace in your heart. Chapter 1, the deeper fabric of reality. When we say, everything happens for a reason, it's not just a comforting phrase in Buddhism. It's a reflection of reality's intricate design. According to the law of interdependence, or pratityasamutpada, nothing exists in isolation. Everything you see, feel, and experience is a result of interconnected causes and conditions. This means that your birth was not an accident. Your presence here now, watching this video, is not coincidence. It is the unfolding of countless actions, thoughts, desires, and energies from both the past and present. Let that sink in. Your joys, your sorrows, your gains and losses, all are ripples in this cosmic ocean of cause and effect. The Buddha once said, "When this is, that is, this arising. That arises when this is not. That is not, this ceasing that ceases." This profound teaching isn't just about philosophy. It teaches us to stop blaming ourselves or others and to begin understanding. Life is not chaotic, it is lawful, and it has a rhythm far beyond our limited human comprehension. Chapter 2, The Mistaken Notion of Control. One of the main reasons we suffer is because we falsely believe we are in control of everything. We think if I plan hard enough, work long enough, love deep enough, everything will go the way I want. But have you noticed, life doesn't always follow our plans. This is not to say you should stop trying. Buddhism doesn't teach passivity. It teaches non-attachment to outcome. So do your best, yes, make plans, take actions, but know this. You are responsible for the effort. The universe takes care of the results. Imagine throwing a seed into fertile soil. You can nurture it, but can you command it to sprout on your timeline? No, you have to trust the process. This is how life works. And when you stop trying to control everything and instead cooperate with life, your suffering begins to ease. Chapter 3, The Role of Karma and Your Soul's Curriculum. Karma isn't punishment. It isn't reward either. It's simply a reflection, a response, a vibration. Every action, every word, every thought creates energy. That energy circulates, gathers momentum, and returns, just as when you plant a mango seed. You don't get apples, you get mangoes. Similarly, the things you experience in this life are not random. They are a part of your soul's curriculum. Let's understand this with a story. The story of the wounded monk. A monk once found a traveler crying in the forest. The traveler said, "I lost everything. My home burned down, my wife left me. I have nothing left to live for." The monk offered him water and said, "You have not lost everything. You still have breath, you still have this moment. And maybe, just maybe, everything was taken from you so that you can be given something greater." He then recited a sutra. The fire that burns the old forest clears space for the new grove. The traveler later became a monk. He realized his suffering had brought him to the path of awakening. Karma, therefore, is not about punishment. It's about learning. Your soul is in school. Life is your teacher. Everything that happens is a lesson tailored uniquely for you. Chapter 4, Learning from Pain, a Necessary Teacher. Nobody likes pain, but pain is one of the most honest teachers. Why? Because it gets your attention. It pulls you inward. It makes you reflect. When things are good, we coast. We avoid deep questions, but when life shatters us, we look for answers, we search, we awaken. That's why the Buddha called suffering the first noble truth, because the recognition of suffering is the doorway to wisdom. You may not understand the purpose of your pain now, but later you will look back and say, "Oh, if that hadn't happened, I would not have become who I am today." The pain taught you compassion. The betrayal taught you boundaries. The failure taught you humility. So next time life stings, ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" And remember, no experience is wasted. Chapter 5, Surrender, the Highest Form of Strength. We often think surrender means weakness. In Buddhism, it means liberation. To surrender is to trust. It is to stop fighting with life. To open your hands and say, "I don't understand this, but I trust the process." Like the river that doesn't resist the rocks but flows around them, it still reaches the ocean. You too must learn to let go. Let go of what you thought your life should be, and embrace what it is becoming. Because when you surrender, you step into a greater intelligence. The universal intelligence that creates stars and breathes through your lungs. You realize you are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are being guided even in silence. Chapter 6. Silence is the language of the universe. Sometimes you pray, meditate, cry out for answers, and you hear nothing. Don't mistake that silence for absence. In Buddhism, silence is sacred. It means be still, listen deeper. In that quiet space, your intuition awakens. Your heart speaks, the ego fades, and suddenly you realize the answers were within you all along. You were just too noisy to hear them. Take time every day to sit in silence, not to ask for anything, but to simply be, because in that stillness, clarity is born. Chapter 7. The puzzle of life, you only see a piece. Imagine trying to judge a 1,000-piece puzzle by looking at just one piece. You might think it's ugly, meaningless, but once all the pieces come together, you see the full picture. Your life is like that. You see today's pain, yesterday's rejection, but the universe sees the whole puzzle. Trust that each piece has its place, even the dark ones, especially the dark ones, because sometimes it's the darkest pieces that give the picture its depth. Chapter 8. What you lose is also a message. Sometimes what life removes from your path is just as important as what it gives. The people who walked away, the jobs that ended, the dreams that collapsed. Each loss carries a message. You outgrew it. It no longer served your evolution. It was part of a previous version of you. Buddhism teaches impermanence, anicca. Everything that arises will eventually fall away. Don't cling. Let go, let flow, let peace enter. Chapter 9. Rewriting your story. You are not the victim of your story. You are the author. Yes, difficult chapters were written, but you still hold the pen. You can choose to write a story of resilience, a story of awakening, a story where pain becomes power. Buddha's life itself was a story of transformation, from a prince to an enlightened teacher, from luxury to simplicity, from ignorance to truth. And you too can transform. Chapter 10. Coming home to the present moment. Above all, the greatest teaching Buddhism offers is this: peace is always in the present moment, not in the future, not after success, not when problems go away. Now here in your breath, when you anchor yourself in the now, you stop chasing and start being. You realize the past is memory, the future is imagination. Only now is real, and in this now you are safe. You are whole, you are enough. Epilogue. Trust the journey. My dear listener, if you're going through something hard right now, I want you to know, you are not broken. You are not lost. You are on a sacred journey. And this moment, however painful, has meaning. Trust it, learn from it, grow with it. And above all, remember, everything happens for a reason. And peace isn't found by changing your life. It's found by changing how you see your life. Let go, breathe, smile, and keep walking. Because the universe is working for you, always.